Peace and blessings, family. It is yours truly, Amari. I am the founder of El Kebalan Unity Alliance, and my queen, Amari, is the co-founder. We focus on your spiritual, your physical, and your financial well-being. I hope that everybody's week is going well as your day. And I've been meditating on some things because of all of the chaotic situations and all of the confusion that's going on in the world today. And this seemed like a very befitting time for this topic of discussion to be disseminated and to be able to bring healing to the masses in their minds, in all of our minds, being able to maintain our peace in the midst of the storm. And when I think about all of these things that's happening and the hysteria and the paranoia, the bad cases of psychosis that I'm seeing that's going on today, because people refuse to face the reality about what's actually happening, and then you have people that are paranoid. They feel like the government is after them, and the government is after them because of their ethnicity, and there's a lot of panicking going on because of the corona pandemic. And I just feel like this is certainly an appropriate time to talk about how can you maintain peace, in the midst of the storm, and how can you find peace in your life, not just with what's going on a global scale as it relates to the coronavirus, but just simply you've been able to find peace in your life because of things that you are experiencing in your life, as far as life itself. Because in this life we shall have tribulation, but I do sincerely feel in my spirit that we can be of good cheer. We can find the peace that surpasses all understanding. I believe in whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, whatsoever things that will generate peace in your life is the things that we need to meditate on. There's another verse says, we will be kept in perfect peace if we keep our minds. You know what I'm saying? So if you keep your mind, on things that will generate peace in your life, such as knowing that you're going to be all right because you have been through tragic things in your life before. What makes this any different? Now, you may say, well, because I've never experienced it before, that's the difference. But the nucleus of the discussion is about dealing with tragic things that happen in life holistically. Okay. So, there may be various tragic things that may have happened that one may not have ever experienced before. However, tragedy is tragedy. It just comes in different ways, right? So we all face things in our life, obstacles in our lives that we have to overcome in order for us to win the victory. Okay. And so we're going to talk about how can you find this peace? Okay. How can you find and maintain peace? Because you have people that have various teachings out here, religious, spiritual. You have numerous political views, and you have people arguing and talking about what's right and what's wrong, and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing, and you have all these various perspectives. So how does one then, peace and blessings to my good brother Patrick Alexander of the Black Liberation Movement, doing great things down in Coldwater, Mississippi, helping to liberate the minds of the people. Appreciate you, brother. Keep doing great things, man. Peace and love to all of you and the family that's there. We love y'all, man. For my queen and I, we send our love to all of you, Sister Crystal and Los, and and yourself and all the elders and the young people, man. Very proud of what all of you are doing there, bringing knowledge and wisdom and understanding to the community, man. Passing on that ancient wisdom. All right. So, family, back to the topic of discussion. How do we find this peace? Okay, I'm going through financially. How can I be, Brother Amar, at ease when I have bills to pay? When I have to feed my family. I'm looking for a job and I can't find a job. And Brother Amar, how can you say I can have peace in the midst of the storm when the storm is rattling my home? There's a life tornado that's coming through and seeming to cause chaos. Every time I turn around, a loved one is transitioning. And how do I find peace in the midst of all this, Brother Amar? You telling me that I can have peace in the midst of all this? There's riots going on. There is mass murders going on. There's drug dealing and prostitution and gang banging, and high crime rates are happening, and unemployment is high. Brother Mark, how can I have peace in all of this chaos, brother? Tell me, how can I find this peace? Well, today I do want to share some things with you in that regard, because the lifestyle that I'm living now, once upon a time, I didn't live this lifestyle. I want to be very transparent with a lot of you because I come from a broken family. Okay, my own father told me at the age of 5 he didn't want to see me anymore. Okay, I experienced seeing my own mother doing drugs, selling drugs. Okay, seeing my best friend's mother almost die in front of me from a gunshot wound when I was only 5 years old. Seeing gang fights in front of our home where I was only 5 years old. Now, I wasn't even an adult when I seen a lot of these things I seen people throat almost cut right in front of me. I seen chaos. Okay, experienced some very traumatic things in my life. So how did I maintain peace in the midst of this? How did I maintain a sound mind in the midst of all of this? Well, we're going to talk about this today because myself, some people say, give me an example of, the power of prayer. Well, you're looking at that example right here, right now. Okay, you're looking at that example right here, right now. Where I have prayed and I've seen signs and wonders and miracles. I've seen things happen before my very eyes. Now, there's times that I did intercede, and I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you and tell you that I receive everything that I pray for. I'm not one of these people that believe in being, fictitious. Okay, I'm realistic. Everything didn't obviously occur that I interceded for, because if that be the case, then we wouldn't be fighting racism anymore. Okay. That's definitely something that I believe a lot of us interceded about, and we would like to see to be eradicated. But see, I had to learn how to deal with reality. And you saying, Brother Mark, how does this relate into have anything to do with peace? It's because people don't have peace because they don't face reality. And people's spirits are disturbed because they don't know how to deal with the reality of life. And I'm realistic about things that's happening around us. You know what I mean? And in order for us to be settled in our soul, we have to know that we're going to come out of this. And we have to be realistic that some people are not going to make it. And if you don't learn how to face reality, family, you cannot have no peace. You won't be able to find peace. Because your mind will constantly be troubled. You'll constantly be thinking. And again, that is paranoia when you think somebody's always after you. I hear a lot of our people, come up with a lot of these conspiracy theories. And I feel so sorry for them because they feel like this whole body of people are always after them and always trying to do something to them and always I'm talking about the whole body. It's true that some of them do, you know what I'm saying? But for everybody, People are paranoid and, martial law and all these other things, you know what I'm saying? Have people in an uproar, hysterical and afraid and actually literally fearing for their lives because they don't have peace in their minds. The reality is everybody is not after us. That's just the reality. Every European person is not after you. Every European person is not trying to kill you. Every European person does not, have it out for you and don't want to see you prosper. And that's a big problem amongst us. A lot of us have no peace, man. We always are in this mode in our mind, always thinking that we're always under attack. Because sometimes attacks do happen. And we've been under attack for centuries. That's a fact. But it's also a fact that we can adapt and we can overcome. And that we can make it. And that we can prosper. And we don't have to accept defeat. See, I don't worry about my children. See, there's a difference between worrying and being concerned. I don't worry about my son. I don't worry about my grandchildren. I don't worry about, my children. I don't worry. Because I understand in this life, you are never going to be without trials. That is just not being realistic, family. And we have to learn how to deal with the fact that no matter how good of a person that you are going to face some obstacles in your life, and that no matter how much good that you put out, you're not going to get that back. Okay? You're not going to get that back from everybody. Everybody isn't going to love you because you love them. Everybody isn't going to want to listen to you because you're teaching the truth. Okay? Everybody's not going to want to support you because you support them. And I see people so much in an uproar. I support y'all. Y'all don't support me. I give to you. You don't give to me. The only way you can find peace is coming into grips with reality that you're dealing with a psychologically damaged people, okay, who have been programmed to not love themselves. Okay, and themselves meaning, those who look like them as well. Not just themselves individually, but us as a collective. Okay? And we have to learn how to deal with that reality. And when you learn how to deal with reality, you find peace within inside of you because you understand that I can't save the world. Some of us, we stress ourselves out. We try to save other people when the truth of the matter is they don't want to be saved. We got to learn how to deal with that. Some people are happy, and it may sound crazy, but it's the truth. Some people are happy in their misery. Some people don't want to change because it makes them uncomfortable to work on change. And some of us, we wear ourselves out trying to save somebody who is not doing anything to help save themselves in the first place. Okay, you share information with the people, they ignore it, or they hear it and don't apply it. And a lot of us, we don't have no peace because we're so worried. We're so overly concerned, about the well-being of somebody who's not even concerned about their own well-being. Sometimes we don't have any peace. You know why? Because we're carrying a burden that's too heavy for us to carry. We worry ourselves, we start, working, and we're making money to try to help our family out, our own personal family, and we wear ourselves out. We're sad, we're depressed because, well, I can't give to this organization. I can't do this, and I can't do that, and I can't do this. See, you have to come into the grips with you're never going to have enough for everybody in the world. Huh? So stop beating yourself up about things that you don't have control over. This is how you find peace as well. You find peace by learning how to deal with reality. We carry burdens that's too heavy for us. And then we get mentally weighed down. Your children have to make their own choices. You can't live their life for them. I see a lot of parents be stressed out over their children. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you can do is teach them right. And then once they leave your house, it's up to them to make their own choices after that. As long as you raise them right, then it's up to them to make the right choices so they can stay on the right path, so they can end up at the right destination. Okay, so you got to stop worrying yourself so much about the welfare of your child or your children as well. Some people are overly concerned. They're afraid. Fear has them gripped. They're afraid to get out of the bed. Oh my goodness, if I get out of the bed, my day is going to be bad. And if I drive, I could get into an accident. Man, there's always a what if. Some people literally they worry themselves to death, literally. Put themselves in a mental ward, literally. Stressed out just that bad. Why? Because some people, they have what is called a mental breakdown. Why? Because you're trying to carry so much on your mind. There's so much in your mind, all right, that you have consumed, okay, to where you have not released. You got to release to find peace. And a lot of these things is boggling people down mentally. It's weighing them down. They've experienced things in their past, and their present. And, this person did that to me. This person said this to me. And still holding on to those things. Don't have no peace. Why? Because you keep holding on to things. You have to detox. Those things are toxic. Unforgiveness is toxic. I know what I'm talking about. My father told me at the age of 5 he didn't want to see me no more. My mother gave me away to my grandmother. So I'm not just sitting up here telling you something that I never had to practice, which is forgiveness. Okay, I've had people that lied on me. Okay, I'm talking about literally on Facebook. A person went on Facebook and lied on me. I'm not troubled about that. To this day, I'm not troubled about that. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth of the matter is I forgave the brother. I let it go. Why? Because I understand the mental state that the brother's in. See, also understanding calms your spirit. When you start understanding things, you start finding peace. I don't expect somebody that's brainwashed, to be awake. I don't expect somebody religious to comprehend what I'm saying or to agree with what I'm saying or share what I'm teaching or preaching. Why would I expect a religious person who's been brainwashed and who's closed-minded to be receptive to what I'm saying? And I've seen so many people get stirred up. Oh, they're not listening to me. Oh, they're not receiving what I'm saying. Because you haven't really come into a true understanding about why somebody doesn't receive what you're saying. They're closed-minded. They're not open-minded. If they were open-minded, then they would take in what you say. They would analyze what you say before they come to a conclusion. But some people are so brainwashed to where, what's being taught cannot penetrate their minds because of the way they've been taught. So they've been taught into the mindset that they have. So why does the racist say and do what the racists do? Because they've been taught into that mindset. They're that way because they're brainwashed. Okay? Why does the drug dealer do what the drug dealer do? Why does the gangster do what the gangster do? Okay? Why does the gangster rapper do what the gangster rapper does? Why don't we accept who we really are? Okay, why don't we want to accept our indigenous selves? Do we really truly understand these things? Some of us, we get so angry and so upset, and we get on social media and we start losing our mind on brainwashed religious people. And they talk that way, they act that way because they're brainwashed. They've been taught into that mindset. So that means they're going, just like they had to learn that mindset that they have to unlearn that mindset that they have. And then they have to learn, you know what I'm saying, to be able to have a changed mindset. So we worry ourselves about things that we don't even need to be worried about. You know, you understand? You know what I'm saying? First of all, some of us don't have peace because we have troublemakers in our lives. Amar, these are some simple answers, absolutely, to solve complicated problems in people's lives. See, a lot of times we're looking for a deep answer to solve, you know, a complicated problem when it's really a simpler answer that will simplify the complications in your life. See, a lot of times we don't have any peace because we have people in our life that are disturbing our peace. So in order for you to find peace, you have to detach from that which disturbs your peace. So you have to ask yourself the question, why don't I have any peace? Why am I always worried all the time? Why am I so troubled in my spirit? It's time for you to get to the root of it. Why don't you have any peace? See, if a person manages their finances properly, why would they have to worry about a financial crisis? Right? So people who are not financially stable is the only ones that worry about not being stable in the midst of a financial crisis. So a lot of time people don't understand you can get peace financially, okay, because there's different areas of peace. Some people don't understand that. You can have financial peace. You can have a relationship type of peace. Okay. You can find peace in those areas in your life. Because see, listen, some people have financial peace, but guess what? They don't have peace in their relationship. So then how can you find peace in a relationship? What's going on? What's causing turmoil? Some people have peace at their job, but they don't have peace at home. Some people have peace at home, but they don't have peace at their job. Some people, they have peace with their own friends, but they don't have peace with their own family. So how does then one find this peace and maintain it? Some people are too overly concerned about what somebody thinks about them, and that's the reason why they don't have any peace. You cannot please everybody, family. Somebody is always going to be unsatisfied with your life. I promise you that. I promise you that. This I do know as being one who has lived this spiritual life for over 20 plus years. Okay, I promise you that you will always have somebody that will not agree with a point of view that you have in your life. And the problem is, we're more concerned about other people's concern than our own concern. Okay? We're more concerned about making other people happy than our own happiness. We're more concerned about somebody else's well-being than our own well-being. Okay, we're more concerned about somebody else's opinion rather than our own opinion about ourselves. And so a lot of us, we don't have any peace in our mind because we're so caught up in, all of the foolishness, you know what I'm saying? All of the hype, and, we buy into it. And some people, the reason why their life is so troubled because they welcome in trouble. There's a verse that says, blessed are the peacemakers. Okay, some people don't have no peace because they're troublemakers. Okay, so you reap what you sow. So how do you find peace and maintain peace? By being a peacemaker. Some people are troublemakers. Some people get on social media and they start talking crazy. Okay, somebody's always in somebody else's business and gossiping and, just always starting something. You know what I'm saying? Always have something negative to say. You know why? Because they don't have no peace within. Because they troublemakers. So they're reaping what they're sowing. Their life is so full of trouble. Okay, because they welcome trouble. If that's all you indulge in is negative content, then that's exactly what's going to reside in your life. Whatever you welcome in is going to dwell there. I'm not saying for us not to watch the news and not to keep up with current events. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you got to keep that at a minimum. You got to guard your heart and your mind. Remember, the peace that surpasses all understanding shall what? Guard your heart and your mind. So how do you guard your heart and your mind in the midst of trouble? Okay, is that you have to ensure that you protect your mind and your spirit from troublesome things. Okay? These are very simple remedies for the social ills that we have in our community as it relates to not having peace. All right. So now I found peace by being more understanding. I promise you I did. See, sometimes we say we understand things, but our actions and our reactions actually show that we really don't truly understand what we say, what we understand. And a lot of times there is no peace because we don't take out the time to understand one another. This is the reason why sometimes people get into these big arguments. Family members and friends alike. A lot of times arguments happen because sometimes the other person is not trying to understand, where the other person is coming from. We don't take out the time to understand. And there's a lot of arguments sometimes because you don't want to listen. You always want somebody to listen to you, but you don't want to listen to somebody else. And see, a lot of times too, people don't recognize, unbeknownst to them, that they're imposing their views on someone else, not understanding that they have a right to be a free thinker. And so sometimes a person says, why this person always giving me pushback? It's because you're always trying to impose your ideologies on somebody else. You can't have a peaceful relationship like that. There's a big problem with people allowing people to be who they actually are. Allowing people to be themselves, allowing people to think freely. And the reason why there's so much war going on and tension going on as well is because of this reason. Troublesome people come and bring trouble. You know, we can avoid a lot of quarrels, and that means to angrily disagree. Okay, we can avoid a lot of quarrels if we just hear one another out. And to sit down and to have a mature conversation with one another and to better understand, well, where each other is coming from. So a lot of times we can find peace by us not being so much of a bully. See, a bully, okay, have a problem with people who resist them. A bully don't like when you don't allow them to walk all over you. You see? And so sometimes people don't understand, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, trouble comes because they're always making trouble. Who want to be around somebody all you want to do is argue all the time? You got to think about that. Why do you always want to argue? Why is it that, you know, majority of conversations you get into always end up in a quarrel, or you always end up arguing with somebody? Because you don't have no peace within inside of you. You got to learn how to take the fact that you're not always right. And what we're talking about is, you may say, Brother Mo, how does it relate to finding peace and maintaining it? You know what I'm saying? It has a lot to do with it. Because a lot of people's lives are so troubled, you know, because of them being in this state of arrogance. Okay? You're not teachable. Okay? You don't like to listen. Okay? You're always right. And everybody else is always wrong. You know, and only a fool despises wise instruction. The way of a fool is hard. Okay? And then I'm saying these things because I see so many people lives in chaos, man. You know, and I'm just trying to help. You know, because I maintain peace. I maintain joy. Okay, I don't let people manipulate and control me. Okay? And so we got to get this spell, this religious spell, broken off us. And that's what a lot of people problems, you know, is as well. You don't have no peace. You know why? Because you too bound up by what a man is saying. You have no peace within because your life is based on man-made traditions and doctrines and commandments. You have no peace because you give more people control over your own life than you have control over your own life. You're mentally disturbed. You have no peace because you keep allowing things to come into your mind that disturbs your mind. Family, listen, you can't expect to have peace when you allow war. Okay, things that war. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to guard your heart and your mind, your ear gate, your eye gate. Okay? You cannot continuously keep listening to certain information and expect for you to have peace on the inside of you. You can't keep listening to racist content and think that you're going to have some peace on the inside of you. That's just not going to work. It's counterproductive. If you're always listening to what a specific ethnic group has done, okay, you're going to constantly, okay, be in an uproar, about what the racist has done and what the racist is doing. And it's not that you shouldn't care. But what I'm telling you is you have to be very careful about what you expose your spirit to. Because that'll take root on the inside of you, and you won't have no peace. And you're going to always be at odds. And next thing you know, unfortunately, what ends up happening is, what I notice is that they start conglomerating. People who do that all the time, they start conglomerating all of one ethnic group into the same category and make them all racist. And then they go into a state of paranoia, thinking all of them after them, and then they go to a bad state of psychosis, thinking all of them, are out to get us. So learn how to protect yourself, man, from these things that's going on in the world, man. Learn how to, think about yourself sometime. You know what I'm saying? Be more concerned about yourself sometime. We have to have a personal relationship with the Creator ourselves. That's right. My queen said that. Make a lot of sense. A lot of us, we go mentally crazy too because, we're just so entangled with these yokes of bondage, man. We're so entangled with people's opinion. We base our lives upon, people's opinions, and a lot of our people I see, man, they're really not happy in religion. They're really not. They're not happy. They call it suffering for Christ and, giving away their rent money and giving away, their bill money, and, they can barely make it, barely pay their bills, but they're suffering for Christ. And it's sad because they forget about the verse that says that you need to render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. What about that verse? What about the wicked borrow and don't pay back? What about that verse? We constantly find ourselves in a disposition because of the mindsets that we have. And how can you have peace, within when you're concerned about, well, my lights is getting ready to be turned off. My water is getting ready to be turned off. You know how you can find peace? Pay your bills. How can you maintain your peace? By making sure that you take care of your needs. See, what happens is some people become religious extremists. Not recognizing these things, not recognizing that, they impose their views, had a good husband, or either have a good husband and have a good wife, but because of man-made teachings, man's opinion, now your marriage is in the uproar because you want to impose your religion. You know what I'm saying? Last time I checked, the Bible says, choose ye this day whom you shall serve. Whomsoever is willing, let them come. Right? But you have people that would make somebody go to church, children old enough to go to church. And, I'm talking about finding peace. How can you have peace in your household? Leave your husband or your wife alone. Okay? And let them make their own choice. Your children are old enough to make their own decision. House is in an uproar. Okay, because of your imposing views and your dogmatic way of approach. So if you want to find peace as well, okay, learn how to share information with like-minded people. You can't expect somebody that's not of the same faith as you to stand there and not to get into a debate with you or not to refute what you're saying. So how do you find peace? Don't approach somebody who you know is closed-minded. I promise you, I hear people complain about, I don't know why they won't listen to what I'm saying. The reason why they're not listening to what you're saying, because they're closed-minded. They don't have the same views as you, man. Learn how to leave that alone, man. Learn how to leave people alone. Okay, stop antagonizing people, with your views. Some people, family members, don't want to be around them, and the first thing they say, oh, they don't want the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. No, it's not that they don't want to hear the truth. They're tired of hearing you. And this is how you can find peace, with your family, and your friends, and within yourself. You got to learn, okay, how to deal with the reality that, okay, everybody is not on the same level as you. Alafia eBay, Prince Adderley. Alafia. Okay, so, I've been on here long enough, man. I just wanted to share these things with your family, to shed some light on some things and, to help you to be able to find the peace and to be able to help you to stop being so overly concerned about the views of other people and, to help those who want to be set free from, religion, man. Those who want to be set free from man's opinion, those who, value man's opinion too much, and this is for those who, you expose yourself too much to things that, cause an unsettledness in your life, and this is to help you to detox these things from your life. You know what I'm saying? These things are toxic, it's not healthy for you at all. Okay, and this is to help you to wash your life clean of these impurities that's in your life so you can find peace within yourself. Okay, and I'm just here to help people to get delivered from man. We are too caught up in man. I'm just being honest. I see it all the time. Okay, people want to be accepted. They're too afraid to be rejected. Listen, everybody will not like you. You got to learn how to deal with that. You got to learn how to love yourself. You'll be able to find peace once you learn how to love yourself. Okay, once you learn how to accept yourself, then you'll be able to find peace. Stop looking for everybody to accept you. Everybody will not accept you. Some people will reject you. And you got to stop rejecting yourself because other people reject you. And you got to come into reality that everybody is not going to come into an agreement with you. And accept that everybody will not support you, and stop being so upset about that because they're brainwashed. It's a mindset, okay? You got to understand that, you got to stop being angry because people are not giving you the same love that you're giving back. Because once you understand that it's a matter of the heart, and people cannot give you what they're not capable of giving you because their heart is hard. You know what I'm saying? Their mind is closed. That's not where they're at spiritually. Okay? And once you start understanding these things, I promise you, you'll start finding peace in yourself. Okay, when you learn how to accept that everybody has their own path and you allow other people to be who they are, okay, because it's just like everybody's not a fireman, everybody's not a doctor, everybody's not a lawyer. And I'm saying this, and I'm gonna just be honest with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these people that are full-time entrepreneurs as well. I have to share this with you because there's a lot of people that want to keep, coming on here and beat people up, that are full-time entrepreneurs. Listen, the logical thing is to understand that a full-time entrepreneur need employees. So you got to think about this. If everybody was a full-time entrepreneur, then nobody would have anybody to work the cash register, to stock the stores, okay, to drive the forklifts, to drive the trucks. All right. You understand? So you can find peace by you accepting that, listen, that's not what you are as well. You got to learn how to accept the fact that you're not something too. Well, I'm not that. That's not what I am. That's not my calling. I haven't been anointed for me to be a full-time entrepreneur. Now, you can still be an entrepreneur. You can still have a business on the side where you can accumulate residual income, right? You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people want to get on here on social media these days and take advantage of this, corona situation. And now everybody, is suffering because, they're not a full-time entrepreneur. See, this is the reason why you need to, be a full-time entrepreneur. Come on, man. Stop playing. Stop playing. Listen, don't allow these things to get you in the uproar. Okay? Everybody has their life path. Okay? And if you're a worker bee, if you're the one that's meant to, work with the entrepreneur and the entrepreneur writes you the checks, then that's perfectly fine. Okay? Find peace within yourself. Be happy with your life. Be content with what you consider success to be. And don't allow somebody to teach you into an hysteria because you don't have millions of dollars in the bank. And, see this. Listen, I'm telling you, family, find peace within yourself. Be happy with yourself. Be happy with your life. Okay, don't try to live somebody else's life, somebody else's reality. You will not have peace being like that. I promise you, you won't. I promise you, you won't. If you're happy with what's in your bank account, be happy with that. If you're happy about the neighborhood that you live in, the car that you drive, the house that you live in, okay, the woman that you're married to, the man that you're married to, okay, then you be happy with that. But don't try to live somebody else's dreams. Okay, don't allow somebody else's reality to be your reality or somebody else's, life to be your life. You live your life. And I promise you, you will find peace within. And you maintain that by ensuring that you keep yourself, okay, from belittling yourself, all because you're not what they think that they think that you should be. And some people are miserable because they have low self-esteem. They don't see themselves as being somebody, all because society has, laid out these criterias about, well, you're somebody if you have this, or if you drive this, or if you live here, or, if you have this much money in your bank account, if your husband look like a supermodel, if your wife look like a supermodel, man, stop allowing people to influence your mind and telling you what's good for you and what's right for you and what's best for you. I'm talking about in certain instances. Now, don't be arrogant and don't want to listen to wisdom where, somebody's trying to give you wise advice to help your life become better. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, you like what you like and you don't like what you don't like. There's a certain lifestyle that you want to live, you know what I'm saying? And you have a right to work towards that certain lifestyle. And once you reach your goal, okay, then you be happy and you be content where you are. Okay? Whatever state that you're in, learn how to be therewith happy and content, whatever state that you're in. You be happy with yourself. Okay? And just leave it at that. Okay, peace, love, and power, family. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in to this program on today. And the way that you can maintain your peace in your life once you find it, again, remember how you found it. Isn't that simple? Remember how you found it and you maintain it. That's how you do it. However you gain peace in your life, okay, is what you need to maintain to be able to keep that peace in your life. And it is your responsibility to keep yourself at peace. It's not nobody else. It's not your wife. It's not your children. It's not your family. It's not your friends. It's not your co-worker. It's not your supervisor. Listen, your peace is your responsibility. It is up to you what you entertain, okay? And it's up to you what you ignore. It's up to you what you accept, and it's up to you what you reject, okay? And you have to also release your problems that you're having on the inside of you. Listen, some of us are troubled too because we haven't told a person the way we feel. And a lot of us don't have peace too because we're harboring things in our hearts. Okay? You won't find peace until you release. Okay? Until you're honest with yourself and honest with that person, you won't have any peace. Because if a person is saying and doing something that troubles you, you're going to continue to have problems. Okay? Until you actually acknowledge it. And that goes even for your own self. You won't have no peace until you acknowledge your personal issues. Salvation will never come into your life. Healing will never come into your life until you face the fact that I have a problem and you acknowledge that problem and you do something about that problem. Then you can start having peace in your life. But until you unplug with what's troubling you, you're still going to continue to face the same exact thing. All right? So love you, man. Appreciate you. Hopefully you continue to have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in.